Hey everyone, so it's actually the end of the day for me. It's 6 p.m. There wasn't a point at which I thought there was anything worth sharing because I spent all day editing, just editing. And I don't want to show too much about these projects which will come out in a couple of weeks, but they're looking really good and I'm really excited. And so far, these 2 episodes are about 20 minutes, and that's probably how long they'll be. So yeah, and then there's another one on top of that. I don't know how long that one will be because I haven't edited that one yet. Aside from doing that, Mrs. Jazz has been here all day on the other computer doing tax stuff, so it's just been a real grind, but making progress. So since there wasn't much interesting content for today, I thought I'd just answer a whole bunch of questions that people left. There were quite a few from yesterday's vlog.
I did tax, that was fascinating.
It was somewhat fascinating.
Entering receipts into a spreadsheet.
Alright, so what's our first question?
Hey Jazza, have you ever thought of writing a book or making a documentary movie about your journey? From recording simple tutorials in your room to making business trips around the world and filming TV shows. Like a guide how to become successful. That's Kim.
Thanks for the question, Kim.
I don't forget everyone's names.
A book or documentary about...
About you.
Oh, like a biopic.
See?
Do I get to pick someone who plays me?
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
You don't get to pick.
Yeah.
I don't want you... Well, I suppose if you watch my biopic and you think I'm sexy, that's okay.
Chris Hemsworth is playing Jazza in his biopic.
That's...
From living room
I didn't want to say...
living large. Oh, that's an awesome title.
That is. It's a good subtitle.
Oh, yeah, no, it's too long for a title.
Yeah. No, I haven't thought about that, to be honest.
But we just did, and we came up with the answer.
Brilliant. Coming soon.
Stevie says, what would you recommend for beginning artists, a drawing pad or drawing monitor? If so, which
Drawing pad.
Drawing pad.
Cheaper. If you're a beginning artist, it gives you a... You know, you don't want to overinvest financially. You don't want to spend $1,000 if you're just starting to learn to draw and you don't know what that means yet, you know. Whereas if you invest $100 or even slightly less, you can put your foot in the water without having spent you or your parents' savings, you know. And there's less pressure on you to perform, I think. If you get a Cintiq, it's just sort of like you feel like you have to make something amazing. Whereas if you get a cheap pad tablet, you can just play, which is the best thing to do.
Jester asks, when does the documentary with the people that you showed come, and where can you watch it?
Okay, I think there's 3 parts. They're going to be 20 to 25 minutes each, and I think I'll release them 1 per week starting about 2.5 weeks away.
On the channel?
On the YouTube channel. For free.
Draw with Jazza?
Yeah.
Not on Daily Jazza, on Draw with Jazza.
I'm just trying to make cool stuff for you guys. So, but it'll come soon.
Azul says, are you going to make tutorials with a light box? You don't have a light box.
I don't own a light box, but I do want to one day do a traditional animation challenge using a light box of some sort. I have to like get supplies and maybe even proper animation paper, but I know it sounds silly to do an animation challenge with traditional animation when in reality that's what they did. But it's challenging if I've never done it before. I don't know anyone who does do it, so but it'd be interesting. I think it'd be fun. I think people would enjoy sort of seeing that sort of thing. So I have that as an idea, but I have to sort of prepare myself for something like that.
I can do a stick figure in a flick book.
Can you? I've never seen you do it.
Because you haven't given me a flick book.
That's true.
What is a flick book?
It's a book that you flick.
That's right, that's all I need. Amy says, what do you love most about your YouTube job?
What I love most about my YouTube job is that it lets me be who I was when I was 12, in that, like, who I am deep down inside is I feel most fulfilled as a person when I get to come up with ideas and be creative and try things. Some fail, some succeed, but it's the bit that I love most, aside from the community and the interaction and all that positivity. Really, it's I feel like a kid in a candy store, and my wife will sort of, you know, deals with this all the time. Every week or two, I have like this new big idea, and you know, but it's fun. That's the fun bit for me, is trying to come up with things and constantly level things up and get to the next place. Yeah.
You're very self-motivated, though. Like, that suits you.
Yeah. It's I don't think I would function well in any normal day job
With a boss.
or even just with a. I think I'm not good at most tasks that aren't just creative and self-driven. I think I worked at the checkout at Target and they hated me because I had no attention span.
Apart from that, you can't do
I
maths.
fall over. I trip over everywhere. I have no body-hand coordination.
You can't add anything up.
I have no mathematical intellect. I have very little ability to think of more than one thing at a time. So yeah, I have the perfect job for me.
Last one. Skippy Creates says, how often are you doing freelance work compared to YouTube and projects? Your own projects?
Pretty much not at all anymore.
You may come back to freelance, but at the moment he isn't doing freelance, basically.
No.
It's very rare that we'll inquire further about a freelance offer. Mostly we just politely decline because he just doesn't have time, but he might come back in the future.
What we're doing at the moment is very demanding and is taking both of our full-time efforts and, you know...
Yeah, these guys must wonder why I hang around so much.
Yeah. But when was it that someone was like, why do you keep referring to Jazza Studios as we?
Why do I say
and
we?
why do I keep saying our channel instead of my channel?
I'm robbing you of your channel!
Jazza Studios is a registered partnership. Myself and Mrs. Jazza are partners in life and in business. So...
But I never talk on Draw with Jazza.
No. I am...
Stay tuned for my drawing tutorial. No.
I am the face of Jazza Studios and technically Jazza.
And I'm the butt end.
Yeah. No. What? You're the brains and you're the...
I can do the math.
Yeah. Everything I mentioned before about me sucking in the day job, maths, coordination, thinking about more than one thing at a time, communication, all that stuff, Mrs. Jazza has that down pat. So yeah, we have our business relationship is I come up with all the ideas of craziness, probably more than she's comfortable with, to be honest, and then she helps me channel the legitimate ones into well executed ideas wherever possible.
We hope.
And then also, we try, we do our best. And then also identify the less legitimate ones and maybe help articulate why they may not be great business ventures or creatively have a payoff. So it works really well, and I think sort of as Gary Vee pointed out, like having a business partner is a big thing, and I was listening to ebooks on entrepreneurship that nearly all of them said you got to get a business partner, and
I'm the invisible partner, though.
She's the invisible
I do try
partner.
not to butt in.
Yeah.
I do think that one day I should show everyone how to draw a triangular flower.
And I shall show you how to do your times tables and to schedule effectively.
I'm the worst drawer. Anyway, there's one more question. It's actually only 5 minutes ago. Well, there's loads of questions, but I sort of went to the start and then to the end, then back to the start again.
Okay.
Adzu says, do you feel fulfilled in life now that you have a book, an animated short, a YouTube channel, and contests and a TV show? Or is there more you want to add to the list?
There's always more I want to add to the list. That's who I am. But I'm more fulfilled than I've ever been.
That's who everyone is, though.
Yeah.
Not just you.
I don't think you're not an artist unless you don't feel like if you feel complacent or happy where you are to not go anywhere else, then you're sort of, I don't know.
I think everyone has dreams and ideas of what they like to do, or you might do like a little show and think, I really hope that they, pick this up, or that there's a bigger one, or that we do more of there, or I'd really like to write a book about this now, and things like that. But especially you're the least likely person to feel like I have made it.
I am the least likely person to feel like I've made it. We're at, like, launch day of my show, I feel like I've peaked and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I just have this habit of when things are going well, I was talking about this either with you or your mum the other day. When things are going really well, I feel most vulnerable that they're going to go tomorrow. So I'm like most on my guard.
You wander around going, I'm so happy everything's going well. I'm not good enough for these people. I'm not good enough.
A little bit. But it's a good way to be. It's a good way to be. Because I know...
Here's an insight into Jazza. If there's one thing I have to say about him, it's like, I'm so happy, everything's lovely, everyth's rose. I'm not good enough for any of you. I'm trying so hard, but I can't live up to it.
I'm a little bit melodramatic.
No, you're not actually. But just those two little voices going inside your head.
Yeah. There's a quote, I'll end with a quote by Gary Vee. I'll paraphrase, because I can't... Gary Vee's big on today's vlog. Anyways, paraphrasing, he said something along the lines of, I believe I'm the greatest, and I also believe I don't matter at all, and am completely insignificant, and balancing those two things gives me the room to do me. And I thought that was really interesting, because, like, not necessarily believing I'm the greatest, but, like, believing in that path that I'm following and that... like having the, you know, grit and hard work to just chase anything I want to do, but also knowing how unimportant I am in the grand scheme of things and how much, like, it can just go tomorrow. I experienced that when I did Flash games for a living. All of a sudden, you know, you're making a living and then you're not, you know. So just having the self-belief to chase something, but then also being realistic and knowing that, you know, if it's going well, it might not always go well, and to prepare for that. Anyway, that's today's vlog. Just lots of Q&A, I guess, because we just did lots of monotonous stuff. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.